March 3rd, 1944. Foggia Airfield, southern Italy. Private Elijah Brooks stood at the edge of the tarmac, his breath turning to steam in the cold night air. His gloves were damp, his jacket heavy with rain. The mission roster was posted on the wall of the operations tent, names scrawled in thick pencil, and his wasn't there. Again, everyone thought they knew why, but what happened next, no one could have imagined. Elijah grew up in Birmingham, Alabama. His father worked 12-hour shifts at the steel mill, his skin always smelling faintly of coal dust. His mother took in laundry from the white families up the hill. Her hands cracked from lye soap. When Elijah was 10, he saw his first airplane, a silver biplane, cutting across the sky like a knife through blue glass. He told anyone who'd listen that one day he'd be up there too. In 1942, the world was burning, and Elijah believed joining the fight against Hitler's racism would help end the racism he'd known all his life. Flight instructor: "Keep her steady, Brooks. Altitude's your life." Elijah, under his breath: "Altitude's my ticket. Out." But in the U.S. Army Air Forces, pilots like Elijah weren't assigned to fight alongside white squadrons. They trained apart, ate apart, slept apart. They fought for the same flag, but under different rules. If this happened to you, would you fight? Or would you stay silent? While Elijah trained, the black press back home launched the Double V campaign: victory against fascism abroad, victory against racism at home. The Pittsburgh Courier printed letters from black soldiers, each one a reminder that the war had two fronts. Letter from his sister Lillian: "Eli, they still won't let me work the good machines at the factory. They say it's for our own safety. We both know what that means. They hired new girls, all white, and trained them in a week. Mama says she's proud of you. I'm proud, too. Just come home safe." When Elijah's unit finally received orders to escort bombers deep into German territory, it felt like a crack in the wall. But small wins never lasted long. The night before the mission, someone slashed the fuel line to Elijah's assigned P-51 Mustang. Hayes, his best friend and fellow Tuskegee pilot, caught the saboteur's shadow slipping out of the hangar. Before Hayes could stop him, a blow to the head knocked him unconscious. Elijah: "Stay with me, Hayes! Medic!" They brought Hayes to the infirmary. Elijah's heart pounded. He had one chance to fly this mission, and now no plane. The ground crew offered him a backup Mustang, older, with faulty instruments. Taking it meant risking his life before he even saw the enemy. What they saw next would make even the bravest man's blood run cold. Bomber lead over the radio: "Red Squadron, we've got 2 Messerschmitts coming down fast at our 9 o'clock. Elijah over the radio: "Copy that, lead. I've got 'em." The altimeter was dead. The compass needle twitched like it had lost its mind. All Elijah had were his instincts, the sun's position, and the roar of the Merlin engine beneath him. He spotted a Messerschmitt peeling toward a bomber's exposed belly. Diving hard, he squeezed the trigger. The P-51's guns roared, tracers cutting through the cold Italian sky. The German fighter erupted into black smoke. Another came straight at him. Cannon fire rattled his canopy. Shrapnel tore through his wing. Elijah: "Not today!" He rolled the Mustang, skimming so close to the bomber's fuselage that his wingtips nearly scraped it by the time they limped. Back to Foggia Airfield. Every bomber they'd escorted was still in the air. The first time in the squadron's history, not a single bomber had been lost. Major Stevenson: "Gentlemen, and Brooks, fine work today." Captain Morgan: "Sir, permission to address an urgent matter. Private Brooks's assigned plane was sabotaged before takeoff. Corporal Hayes can confirm." Major Stevenson: "Who's responsible?" Silence. Miller looks at the floor. Morgan's eyes lock on him. Captain Morgan: "I filed a report naming Sergeant Miller. Command will decide the next step." There would be no court-martial. Miller was quietly reassigned to another base, the same way racism in the military was often handled. Quietly, without justice. Hayes: "Heard you made history today." Elijah: "History doesn't mean much if it doesn't change anything." Hayes: "It changes something for me. You came back. The mission earned Elijah his squadron patch and a commendation. But when the war ended, and he stepped off the train in Birmingham, the same colored-only signs still hung over bus station doors. His sister was still sewing uniforms in the factory basement, for half the wage of the white women upstairs. The war abroad had been won. The war at home was only beginning. Elijah Brooks was one of nearly 1,000 Tuskegee Airmen who flew with distinction during World War II. They proved wrong every racist theory about their ability, yet returned to a country still chained by Jim Crow laws. History may change its clothing, but the truth beneath often stays the same. What do you think? Can a nation truly win abroad if it's losing at home?